Hello dear Rebounding friends, I welcome you to our bone density project, and I'm very happy to have you all together here. I'm here in Berkeley, and you see that it is a little bit chilly, not really cold, but it's a very typical day in Berkeley in the East Bay of San Francisco. Summers here can be a little bit chilly, but it's great, and the best thing is that we now start together 25 days of active training working on our bone density, and I'm very happy to have you here. I wish you a lot of fun, and I'm sure we have that together, and I check in with you tomorrow. So now let's just go into the first exercise. Lesson number 1, the correct foot positioning. When we come up to the rebounder, the first thing what we want to do is to place our feet correctly. The width between the 2 feet is hips width, and to do that we can stand like that normally and then spread the feet, the toes out and come on the toes and down, or, which is easier probably, is to put the right heel to the left big toe like that, and then coming up on the left on the right big toe and down. Again, I do it. Right heel to the left big toe, coming up on the right big toe and down. And there we have to pay attention from that point on that we have the feet in the middle parallel here. So we won't do this, we're not doing that or something like that, in order to really have a very stable position. We have the feet parallel here. Next thing is that we don't want to pronate. Pronating is when the ankles here are falling into the middle. The contrary is called supinating, then the ankles fall outside. Neither of that is very helpful because it strains the knees and also the ankles. So what we want to do is to get the heel in a 90-degree angle to the floor. So that is here, the heel bone needs to be in a 90-degree angle to the floor or to the mat. So when we're standing, if you're pronating, just put a little bit more of the weight on the outside of the heels. See? So I'm pronating, now I put a little bit on the outside of the heels, more my weight. Yep. Okay, and then the heel bone comes in a 90-degree angle, just normally. That helps also with the knees. You see, when I'm pronating, also my knees are falling in, while when I'm bringing my feet, my heels in a 90-degree angle to the floor, then the knees are nicely looking in the front direction. Next thing when we're ready with the knees is that it is important that you're not locking the knees. I'm coming from the side that you see that. So locking would be this, yeah, here. What we want to have is that the knees are slightly, not really bent, but loose here, relaxed, unlocked, yeah? We don't need to go too deep, but not locked, so just let them loose. And then the fifth thing where we want to pay attention of is that our ankles are also really relaxed. So what is important when we come to a bouncing, and I show it to you here, is that we are letting the ankles just go with the movement. That we are not, now I show you how not to do it. Not to do it is fixing the ankles like that. So that would be like that kind of thing. No? That is very unpleasant, and it is also not really good because the bump will go in our spine. Now how we want to do it is when we come in a little bit of more higher bouncing, is that the ankles are hanging loose. Yeah? Again, I do it wrong. See? And now I do it right. So for instance, if you would leave the mat, the last thing which is leaving the mat are the toes. And the first thing that is coming to the mat again are also the toes. So it's like a rolling of the foot from heel to toe and from toe back to heel. So that's the end of our first lesson. How to stand correctly on the rebounder, how to position our feet. And now comes your exercise. So you come in a nice bounce. And from there you continue with whichever movement you're comfortable with. This is now the time where you start the clock so that you do your base time today. At least the base time. And I'll see you back tomorrow. Bye-bye.